trying to get to that small percentage, right? The journey there is very unrewarding, and you lose a lot on that journey. So we kind of looked at all of that, and when we first set out on this journey, Web3 wasn't even a thing for us. We just looked at tackling the toxicity in social media and the way that people are exploited. And because during the lockdown, we all went straight to social media, right? That's where everyone spent their time, and it just emerged into this kind of melting pot of disaster, really, right? COVID was an awful time for many people, but it was actually a boom time for those companies. They made a fortune off the back of us.
Yeah.
More and more people piled their money in for advertising. Who won? None of us. What did we get? Conspiracy theories. What did we get? A platform telling us that we should do this or we shouldn't do that.
Separation of people into two different political spectrum. I mean, almost polarizing people. So
yeah, exactly. And what happened was the platforms, the way that those platforms led that conversation. And that's not true freedom of speech, right? Social media is about being free to express yourself and not be controlled and not be censored. There are platforms that will allow you not to be censored, but their models, unfortunately, are all driven around selling your eyeballs. And that's the thing here. We're not doing that. What we've managed to do is build an entire revenue model that is all about creators and consumers earning along the way and sharing in the rewards of the platform. So we don't need to sell your eyeballs. Now, the other players can't do this in the market. The existing players, their stakeholder engagement, everything that they value on their bottom line comes from ad revenue, and it comes from making their feeds addictive, your time dwelling, and then exploiting that back. No one wins except for them. And that's a horrible experience. But the experience of being on social media, the dopamine hit, their engagement with our friends, which is becoming less and less because it's largely flooded with adverts now.
Yeah,
if you look at the ratio of ads to actual social experience, they're completely wrong. In fact, your content gets flooded in between advertisement, right? And you've got genuine content that's going out there, but you're fighting against ad space that's paid media. And they've turned that screw further as well, right? You've now got to be a verified platform if you want to climb the feeds. You've got to pay for that, right?
Exactly.
You've got to be that, right? It's exploitation, and it's more and more revenue. Whose pocket does it go in? Not in yours.
Yeah, and if we go back to the original ethos of the internet itself, the internet was built as a free platform for expression. That's what it was built for, right? Is that a person, regardless of how extreme or how offensive their content was, should be able to exist somewhere on the internet. But over time, with the rise of Web 2.0, with the rise of more centralized data centers and people that provide server space, website hosting, now that's no longer possible. If I had an extreme view, a conspiracy or something, no matter, regardless of how crazy it is, I should be able to post my website somewhere. Right now, it's very difficult to do that. About 5 or 6 years ago, and now I don't agree with this, right? Is that there was a lot of, I guess, pro-Nazi videos on YouTube. And now, of course, that's horrible. To be a Nazi is past being horrible. But I always thought that was a slippery slope, is that once you start taking out the most extreme things, it's only the next step to start coming to pretty soon we're all reduced like 1984, to where we only can talk about certain things or either view certain things. So I always think that there's a slippery slope, and freedom of speech sometimes is offensive, and you have to be able to accept it all. And I believe the internet should go to. So what's Wonder Token doing? It makes, everything. What's Wonder Token doing that's so different than right now 50,000 tokens that get created per day?
Well, look, let's talk about the premise of the platform and how that interacts with the token itself, right? And why is Wonder Token so important? From our perspective, Wonder Token actually does something, right? It's not a speculative asset, period, right? It's not. And this is the long game, right? We designed the platform and the experience around the problems that we were solving, and we realized we needed something to power that platform. So we looked at how can we bring Web3 technology in to solve the problems. Now, as I said at the beginning, we didn't start in Web3, right? I became a Web3 kind of native or whatever you want to call it over the time that we've been doing this and we're building this. And bearing in mind, we're not new kids on the block, right? We've been at this for 3 years, or nearly 4 now, because we started out doing a big research campaign. Our first $1 million we raised was all in research and stuff like that. The second year was producing a prototype and testing our theories, and the third year has actually been moving over to blockchain and using blockchain technology to facilitate this. So the Wonder token it grew out of necessity. And the point that I like to make to people is this: the Wonder ecosystem, it rewards viral content. It allows you to stake for governance. It allows you to protect your identity. It allows you to protect your data through agent-based AI. It provides a licensing platform to protect creator IP. It provides an opportunity to earn a percentage of brand partnerships, earn rewards. It allows you to license your content. It allows you to tokenize real-world assets. All of these things are powered by our Wonder token. And over time, as we grow the platform, when we roll out more and more features as the future goes, and we've got a huge roadmap ahead of us that are from our protocol and the social app, the Wonder token makes all of that power possible and the way that it interacts.
I have a question here. So it's almost a cliche, especially back in 21, 22, when Web3 tokens started really taking off, is that they're going to take the power away from the big guys and put them into the small guys' hands. Now, it's almost a cliche. So many failed projects have talked about that. Now, I want to know exactly how WonderCoin plans to do it and how it plans to implement that based, technology, how it's going to do it technology-wise and also just structure-wise.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what we've done is we've rebuilt the incentives matrix. Okay. So from our perspective on Wonder, when your content goes viral, you earn the cut of that ad revenue. That's nothing new. And we've never said we're not going to have ads, by the way. Brand partnerships are an important part of powering the economy. But the difference is we give consumers choice. So a brand licenses your video. You get paid for that. They want to use your content. You get paid. It's like a licensing platform. The smart contract pays you directly. It's a direct relationship with the two of you. A brand partner wants to work with you on campaigns, building materials. We have a secret contract that executes that between you and that person, and you get paid directly. You get paid on your terms. You set the terms of that smart contract, and they pay into it. Wonder Token executes that. It's all done within the platform, and we've made it. And the focus for us has always been hide the wires, right? Web3 is notoriously challenging to engage with, right? You've got to learn. You basically got to become like a kind of whole type of new Web3 scientist just to open a wallet these days, right? It's not easy. So our entire job, and I've got 15 years as a Web2 developer, has been all about UX. It's all about just hiding those wires and making it feel organic and natural that, I can go on here, I can create my identity, which is the first step into the space. I can start minting my content on chain to immutably prove that I own it. And then I can monetize my content. I can take that content and I have smart contracts that are my terms, and I can then use those with the platform. Wonder Social itself has a contract with you as a creator, and you give us the terms in which you're willing to share your content, and what you get paid, the revenue share, and all that stuff is built into that experience between us and you, how it's used and how it's done.
Now, I have a question based on what you just said. Are you guys trying to replace social media, or are you guys just going to be maybe like an auxiliary place that people can go for more freedom, more content control?
So what we're doing is we're giving people choice and we're giving people ownership. And then from there, what they do with is up to them. There's two parts to Wonder. There's the Wonder Social app, which is our outlet. It's where you can publish your content and you can go viral and you can get noticed and you can have this wonderful Wonder experience. And you've got the Wonder protocol that powers that. The Wonder protocol will give people and future apps the opportunity to build on top of this and create more experiences. But you own the content that is in that protocol, okay? So it's all decentralized at source. You have access and you control it. And then you decide which platforms you want to join. We have a reputational score that's tied to your identity, and those platforms can let you in. You have a zero knowledge proofs identity platform that allows platforms to choose, hey, listen, we've got you must be over 16 or you must be over 18 to get into our platform. But you don't want to tell every platform that about you. So you go through one experience, one zero knowledge proofs experience, and we pass a Boolean over that says, hey, this person is over 18. We know they are. And zero knowledge proofs, the way it works, it over time builds and gets more and more stronger and more powerful. And you can get into these platforms. Everything you do belongs to you. If you then want to take that data and stake it into our data pool, when we sell that data, anonymized, of course, the same way all the other platforms do it, we share those rewards straight back to you. So we're not trying to replace social media.
Okay.
We're just trying to say you can be part of the same social experience you're used to, but not be exploited. And that goes for consumers as well as creators. This is from the consumer level up. It's not just creators that earn out of this.
Yeah, so, I do a lot of research about coins, tokens, even tech stocks. We also talk about tech stocks here. And I see you guys all the time. And I saw somewhere that you guys have like almost 80,000 usernames already reserved. I want to say whoever you guys are working with, media or whatever you guys are doing, it's working because I see you guys everywhere. But tell me more about the almost 80,000 usernames you guys have.
Right, so a huge indictment for our project was the fact that in January of this year, the former head of marketing for Europe at TikTok joined our squad. So that's why you see us everywhere. He knows
Oh,
us.
okay, that's it.
Okay. So Ryan joined us. He was one of the first 30 people at TikTok back in 2018 in Europe, and he grew TikTok to what it is today, and he was incremental to their success. He had multiple roles in there, and he became the head of European marketing. We've taken him and he looked at our platform, looked at what we wanted to do. And bearing in mind, he knows everything that's right and wrong about social media, right? From one of the biggest players. And he's taken that and he's run with it. As a result, what we've managed to do, and it's three things have led to this, right? It's trust, timing, transparency. We're transparent about what we're doing. Right? We're not trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. We've put it on chain. We're going to make everything we're doing totally clear, down to our governance layer. Our governance layer is going to be the key to the differentiate between us and the other guys. Think about if you had Meta and it was a DAO and it made the decisions and it was community driven and led, but all of that power was with the community, it'd be a totally different experience. But it's not. It's an overlord. It's a totally different way of looking at things. Transparency is the key, right? Timing. Look at what's happening in the world today. Look at those other platforms and the mass exodus we're experiencing. Okay, we are seeing people shy away from these platforms because they are seeing that their voices are being muted. They are seeing people exploit the power they are getting from those platforms and misusing it. They're selling data to countries they shouldn't be. They are muting, shadow banning people that they shouldn't be because they have choice because it's centralized. And there is massive backlash along it. It's a timing thing. And the media is just picking up on that. Every time we talk about it, the media is scooping that up. We've got kids given access to platforms they shouldn't have access to. We have platforms saying, oh, you have to be 16 to get onto our platforms. But you know what? It's not our responsibility to determine if you're 16 or not. That's Apple's or Android's. That if they don't work it out, why should we worry about it?
Exactly.
No. It's your platform. You have the decision to make. Do I let you in or don't I? And if you can't prove that they're over 16, then you shouldn't be letting them in. That is simple. It's unhealthy. Kids are suffering. And that is it's a timing thing. No one trusts them as a result of it. Simple.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I agree with everything you just said. And I'm glad that Wonder is doing something about all of these problems that we have in social media. Because I believe that if social media continues to go like this, it can be the downfall of society. That's one outlier opinion that I have, but I do think that that's true. So I want to know, tell everybody how to find you guys, how to learn more, and any kind of news that's coming up about what you guys are doing.
Okay, so I'm speaking to you today, and we are in our TGE week. So we are going live with our token on Mexi this week. So yeah, we're launching on Centralized Exchange. We'll be available on Uniswap very shortly afterwards. So keep an eye out for that. That is, yeah, I mean, that's literally happening as I'm talking to you in the middle of this. Actually.
Okay, and what day is that again?
It's 21st. So
okay, so it's
the 21st is going live.
Okay, so all right.
As I'm talking to you. So that bit later today. We are, the app itself, the roadmap for the app is we're launching the identity platform, which is the kind of first entrance into this space with our go-to-market strategy, which is a queuing system, which is going to get you access to exclusive experiences. We've got really great strategic partnerships that I'm not allowed to talk about just yet because I don't want to spoil the alpha that's coming in the next few months that are going to hopefully help the investors in the token. But we've got some really cool opportunities coming up. We've got major record labels interested, right? We've got huge ticketing companies interested. We've got major artists interested, people that have withdrawn from social media that are coming back for us. Just to make this clear, we'll have access to stuff that no one else has got access to. And we're going to be launching things in the coming months, and it's super exciting, and just keep an eye on it. The first opportunity is get involved with the token if you want to get involved with the token, obviously. The second opportunity is look out for the launch. Go to the website, reserve your username, automatically puts you into the pool, and then we'll keep you informed of when we launch it, and you'll be the first to get into that queue. And then you'll be able to climb that queue, reap rewards, get benefits. There's all sorts of things that we're doing that are gamifying that experience to kind of get the world involved with Wonder, and hopefully explain to the Web 2 world the benefit of Web 3 technology without them getting bamboozled by the jargon, basically, and kind of getting them more familiar with that experience.
Okay, well, I appreciate everything. I appreciate you stopping by, telling us about Wonder and all the amazing things you guys are doing. Appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. So the last thing we want to talk about, hopefully you guys like that interview. He's a great guy. I'm glad that I got a chance to speak with him. Amazon's AI move. Last thing we want to talk about, give me about 5 minutes and we'll close this out. One of the biggest stocks I think people should hold in their long-term portfolio is Amazon. Everybody knows Amazon for online shopping, but Amazon has made more money in their tech business than they have in sales, specifically AWS. Now, we're talking about Web 2.0, Web 3.0, we're going Web 1.0. Amazon was very, very smart. Around the early part of the 2000s, Amazon understood that we were moving from Web 1, like we talked about positioning yourself to do well as we transition into new phases of technology. Amazon saw Web 1 slowly move into Web 2. They understood that Web 2 needed more data, they needed a fast access, and they needed servers that could repair themselves, and they needed somebody, they were willing to pay more for that. Amazon is expensive compared to just a regular server. So Amazon said, hey, we already got servers. We already got engineers. We already have people that do all this stuff. Why don't we expand it out and let everybody else use it too? That's where AWS came from, Amazon Web Services. So they positioned themselves to be a supplier to the rise of Web 2 with social media. Most sites in the world, I think it's like 30-40% of all sites in the world that we know of, go through AWS right now. So Amazon not only is the number one place for shopping, they also profit from almost every website on the planet. That's how you position yourself. It's supply side positioning, is that when you see a trend coming, you position yourself to profit from supplying the trend like they did in the gold rush back in 1849. A lot of people discovered gold in California. People got rich. It hit the news. Everybody started talking about it. People rushed to California to discover gold for themselves. But the problem was it was too many people looking for the gold and wasn't enough gold to go around. Smart people saw that coming. They said, let's sell these people shovels, picks, clothes, housing, all the things they're going to need in order to look for this gold. And they became the second wave of millionaires out of the gold rush, the people who positioned themselves to supply the trend they saw coming. That's what Amazon has done, and they're doing it again with AI. They're positioning themselves, they're expanding AWS. They're expanding their cloud business to become a dominant force in AI. It's already pulling in billions. What most people don't see is that Amazon may become an AI-first company over the next few years without people even understanding what's happening. They do it behind closed scenes. Most of you guys probably didn't know more than half of Amazon's revenue comes from AWS and their tech services, not even their products. So Amazon stock is coming back up, been 15% up in the past month. It cooled off a little bit in February, which was its all-time high. AWS was the core driver of all that movement. AI revenue starting to grow to triple digits. And they also have a new model they call Nova, which could be set to rival ChatGPT. Amazon also has something called Q, which is an assistant built right into their servers that helps businesses analyze the data coming in from their web services, the data coming in from their websites and all the other services that they have clients on. And it can also write code. So imagine it's in a world in which you can, instead of having an engineer, software developer, or server guy, you open up a chat box from Amazon. Build me a website that sells these products, that sends me an email whenever the products come in, and then sends a order request to the factory so that we can produce it. You got a website on Amazon servers, and you didn't even have to have all these people doing it for you. It already is in testing, is cutting development time by 80%. That's why I think Amazon is going to go up 2 to 3 times over the next few years. Once this news gets out that Amazon's doing this, and you start to see real profit from it, because it's a hard thing for companies to hear about this and not go to Amazon. The ads, they're doing very good with ads as well, bringing in $13.9 billion last quarter. And that can also add to their revenue, right? Long-term focus says that they can boil in $1.15 trillion a year. And over 130 billion of that will be profit by 2030. At that valuation, it sets the stock price from $430 to $500. Right now, Amazon is somewhere around, let's see, I think it's in a high hundreds. Put Amazon right there, Amazon stock. I think it's somewhere in the high hundreds. Yeah, right now, I'm sorry, it said 204. It went up a little bit. So Amazon's at 204. So that gives us almost 150% gain in the next 4.5 years. Now, it's not going to go up like these other stocks, these AI stocks, SoundHound, all these other stuff, Palantir. Probably from now, Palantir, yeah. But not like Palantir and all those other stocks did in the past. But Amazon is also not going down. The risk is low. Potential is good. That's something that we always want to add to our portfolios. Now, remember, if you want to go past the basics, join the Chestnut Checkers group, a step-by-step courses, crypto stock picks, tight investor group. And remember, DeLorean Dreams tomorrow in LA, crypto, real estate, robotics, nuclear, and quantum plays. Both of those links are in the description or in the caption. DM me Los Angeles or CNC, and I can get those over to you. So that's it for today's Future Money. If you got value from today's breakdown, please drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share this with somebody who's serious about learning about technology and investing in emerging tech. Now, we're building real strategies, real results every day. Thank you for tapping in with me. I'm Armando Pantoja. I'll see you next week on Monday, same time, same energy, same focus on